Honestly, I think any kind of sweet bread or bun can be used for hot cross bun. For today's recipe, I'm going to be using my Belizean Creole bun recipe. All right, so let's get right into it. First of all, we're going to do 1 loaf.
You're watching the Bare Pantry Show.
If you have this book, the bread book you need, go to the Belizean Creole bun and pick the 1 loaf recipe, okay? So let's start with the hot water. When I go over to the faucet, we have running hot water here in America, so I put it to the hottest it'll go, and I put my finger underneath the thingy and I keep touching it. And if I can touch the water and it's hot but I can't leave my finger underneath it, then I know it's hot enough, and I need a 1/4 cup. And so to this, I'm going to go ahead and add the yeast, which is 1.5 teaspoons of yeast, active dry yeast, not the rapid rise, okay? And I have all the rest of my ingredients out here, so I'm going to steal some of the sugar from the allotment of sugar. I'm going to steal about a tablespoon, maybe a little bit less, because I want this yeast to activate within 8 minutes. All right, so that's all it is to activating the yeast. So now let's take care of the other stuff, which is going to be the dry ingredients, the all-purpose flour. And I have it measured like this because it's like 2 cups plus 6 tablespoons, I believe. I'm going to go ahead and leave the ingredients down below for you guys, all right? Let's put the sugar, and this is granulated white sugar. And I'm just getting it worked in. And then, of course, cinnamon. We need some spice. Other people put nutmeg. I'm allergic to nutmeg, so I don't put that. And then, of course, this bun is going to use baking powder. Why? Because we want it to move. This is what my mom's aunt taught me, okay? And then butter. It's 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon of butter. All right, soften to room temperature. We're going to work this into the dry ingredients, and then we're going to go ahead and add some raisins to the mixture. And this part is optional. This is a 1/4 cup of raisins. I'm going to add a little bit of my vanilla extract into the coconut milk. By the way, I didn't have any coconut milk in the can, so I used the powder stuff and I mixed it with water to get 3.5 ounces, okay? So now I've added the yeast mixture, and I'm scraping all the sugar from the bottom because sugar will settle on the bottom when you activate the yeast. And then now I'm going to add the coconut milk. The coconut milk is warm too, okay? Maybe 15 seconds in the microwave. I'm doing everything to help this bun move along quickly today. So I just want to get this worked in first before I start adding more wet ingredients. Okay, here we go. A little bit of water. 1 to 2 ounces, thereabout. Just add it very slowly because we don't want to over wet this dough. Now it's time to get it from the bowl. And just go ahead and peel it off my fingers. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but I have this video in the profile orientation for shorts. And then I'm going back and forth to the landscape. Oh, I washed my hands and dried because it's easier to knead when your hands are not sticky. And it's because I didn't know how I was going to do this video at first. Is it just going to be a short? Is it going to be a long form? See? It's 16 by 9 now, right? So, yeah, I just wanted you guys to see that. Maybe you guys didn't even notice. So roll it into a ball, put it into the bowl, cover it up with a clean dish rag for about an hour to 1.5 hours, depending on how cold your house is. I only needed an hour. Let me go ahead and get it out. Squeeze out all the air, or punch out all the air. If you're kind of mad with somebody, just punch it. So because this is going to be hot cross buns, little buns, I'm going to cut it into 8 equal pieces with my little bench scraper tamales maker thingy here. So cut it in half first. Remember fractions, right? And then half again, and then half again. So you get 4 on each side, so it's a total of 8. And I usually feel it in my hands to see which one's bigger. I'm showing you how you use it for tamales. You scrape it, right? But if you have OCD, go ahead and weigh it. Put all the dough on the scale. Get it in ounces or grams. I usually use grams. Then divide it by 8, and then you know what each piece is supposed to be, right? So now smooth off the top. The top already starts smooth, right? And kind of curve it, curve it, curve it, curve it. And then you start pinching the bottom. And this is when I realized that I need dough for the cross. Look at the moment that I realize it, guys. I'm rolling. Like, I need the cross. So cut off a piece. Normally I wouldn't even show you this part, but I'm being mentored in YouTube right now, and they're like, keep your bloopers in. I'm like, okay. I noticed that people that do stupidness on their show, they get a lot of views. I'm over here trying to be perfect. So I'm like, bloopers, you're going to stay in. Split this in two. Roll it in between your hands like this. Now listen to the man going by selling, I don't know what he sells, panadero? Those chips with the corn, the elote or something? I think it's the elote man. Oh, he's annoying too. Alright, so here's the first one, guys. Not editing out any of that. You hear the ring thing went off because he went by my door, you know? By my sidewalk, I should say. So let's try another one. Let's get the cross. Get the two pieces off. And then curve, 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 curve. Pinch, 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 pinch. There's no other way for me to teach this to you. Start with the smooth part, you know? Don't start with the part that doesn't look smooth. And just curve it into a dome first. And then pinch the bottom to make a ball. And then roll the two pieces in between the palm of your hand so you can get the rope. So we can make the cross. Some people will do this and put icing sugar. You know what? You can do the powder buns. You know, you can get my powder bun dry mix. Oh, let me cut away to my powder bun dry mix commercial, guys.
Calling all tea and coffee drinkers. If you love to enjoy a cup of tea or a cup of joe with coffee cake, scones, or cookies, then I know you'll love this Belizean powder bun. This dry mix makes it so easy for you to make your own powder buns. You can customize them with dried fruits or chocolate chips, or you can make them plain. This 40-year-old recipe is foolproof, so your buns will come out perfect the very first time. Just follow the instructions on the packaging or scan the QR code for a video tutorial on how to make this delicious treat. Pick up your dry mix at barepantryshow.com.
All right, we're back. Use the powder bun and put some glaze on the top for the cross. If you don't want to do all this with yeast, you know. And thanks to everybody who's been picking up my powder bun dry mix. And just like that, we've cut away to all 8 being finished. And I have a parchment lined baking sheet, and I'm going to put 4 on one side and 4 on the other side. And then you want to squish them with the palm of your hand. Cover it up for about 45 minutes to an hour. And then bake in a preheated oven at 325 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. And then they're gonna look like this. Yes. Let me set it down and shut the oven off, because I have my master right here. He doesn't like it. You know how some people get annoyed when you leave the refrigerator or the freezer door open, right? Don't we have some family member like that? Show the bottom, show the bottom. We have some family members that are like that. Close the fridge, close the fridge. This one is out the oven, out. Just leave the oven. That's how I stay warm. I'm just taking them off, guys. I have one camera going. Taking them off. Now this is what we call hot cross bun for true. Ooh, it hot. I'm making a video on cooking in the new pot set. Look how Joe got this pot look nasty now. I hope it's easy to clean. And while they're still hot, you want to go ahead and mix some sugar and water. You can also like dilute down some honey, but I don't like the taste of the honey on these. Okay? You want to do is just brush. You don't want to do this when they get too cold, okay? Well, it's still piping hot or warm. Well, you're nobody called today. She hung up when I asked her name. Well, I wonder, does she think she's being clever? I don't know how that song came in my mind. I think that was Sylvia from 1985. Nice and soft, and the raisins and the butter. This is the best.